I got a dozen roses the other day, but I have only one left. For I gave the rest away. I gave one to my partner James, knowing it will bring him a bit of floral cheer. I took one to a friend who's not feeling well. The flower of the visit, which helped more, I could not tell. The next went to ones who've helped me in so many ways. They have been a cheerful presence in some form of my dreary days. The roses were so pretty I could not keep them all, except one single rosebud, standing beautiful and tall. The flowers helped to brighten my day, but the biggest joy I received was giving them away. That was the moment. That was a moment for me. It's a moment that I feel that divine connection and that oneness that we teach about and talk about and exclaim that we're one with and as. And it's good to talk about it. It's good to reaffirm within our own minds that, yes, this is one life. There's one perfect presence, one God, one, individualized through each one. And that we carry all of those aspects of the one in each one of us. You got that? I think I do. So we carry that through, but it's nice to feel, isn't it? It's nice to not only know it up here, but to feel it within our bodies. And as I look out at you, new faces, other new faces, I do so with love. I look with love, because that's then what I get to see return to me. I'm inspired and I'm supported as I know that this is my community. And that is an awe moment all the time for me. So what is an awe moment? I mean, how would one define that? Well, let me begin with saying that for me, it's an inner rush that's palpable, that I can feel it, I can sense it. There's maybe a look that overcomes the face a bit. It lightens up, it brightens up. For me, it's a feeling of deep awe, A-W-E. It's an inner affirmation that we are in this life to live, and that we're creating out of our life, our experiences, all that we know to be true for ourselves. And we create in this life, not out of what we could out of what was, but for me, the awe moment that I like to create is from letting new ideas onto my path, into my life. Because each step of the way, we are choosing this or that idea, aren't we? I do. We get to say yes, we get to say no toward our available good. Sometimes no is the right answer. I learned in this teaching that no is a complete sentence. And it can be done pleasant? No. 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 See the difference? There's a no. No is gentle. No. Okay. The awe moment is, for me, that greater awareness. It's an expansion into joy and love and peace, which we teach here too, that we are expressions of God, the joy, the peace, the love, the harmony, the abundance, the wisdom. All that God is, all that infinite spirit is for itself, is for us as well. I'm facilitating a Science of Mind class called Building a Healing Consciousness. And in this class, we get to begin exactly where we are in our belief, in our life, in our consciousness. What we hold and mold as true in our lives. And that out of that mold, out of that hold, out of that belief, out of that knowing, we create. And so, I used in class, I used the idea of a casserole or a salad. You can choose what goes in that mold, in that bowl, into your life. You can add to that. Or you can say, oh, next time I'm going to do a different, I don't like radicchio in my salad. Or those hot peppers in my casserole. We have a choice. We always have a choice what to add to our lives. And also what to say, no. No, thank you. Dr. Holmes, our founder, writes in the Science of Mind textbook, and I quote, God is forever doing new things, and when we conceive new ideas, it is an act of the divine projecting itself into creation. The divine projecting itself into creation. I love to create. I've been looking at new houses to buy, haven't we? And it's like, oh, wow. There's a lot out there. There's a lot out there. There's a lot of choice out there. Haven't found one that says, Some are going, no. Possibilities. But it's all about new ideas. And what that is doing for me is that it is allowing me to become more clear about what it is I really desire in the form of a home. My realtor says, what we think we want in a home isn't what we sometimes get. She calls it buyers are liars. You got that? Buyers are liars. Because you'll walk into something and you go, oh my gosh, this is it. And she'll go, I didn't see that on the list. So sometimes we go through life and we say we want this, when really what wells up and out is something different. And we know it when we know it. I have come to realize out of all of this process of life and the new house search that ideas which contain joy and love and peace have an inner factor. The inner spiritual good which inspires me is my factor. And it lets the ideas come up and out through us and to us to reveal the perfect right people and places which support us and have evolutionary potential toward our spiritual magnificence. I love those two words. Spiritual magnificence. Do you know you are magnificent? In my early teachings, I was taught that I was a worm of the dust, and I had to do something about that. I thought, well, what do I do? I didn't know that worms could turn into butterflies, but I knew that caterpillars could, so I called myself a caterpillar then. I always had new ideas about myself. Where'd that come from? So, spiritual magnificence. I have a definition for that. My own little creation here, my own little bloom. It's our realization of living fully into life. Our realization, when we come to the awareness that we are living fully into life. Say with me, Are you living fully into your life? Sometimes. Sometimes. When you are, go, recognize it, claim it, try it on, see how it feels. Each person here, you, all of us, is an artist. Creating out of divine potential to outpicture the life of choice. What's that? What's that? Look at these, artist. Thank you, Sarah. This gentleman, he's still an artist. His spirit's ongoing. We are works of art in process. Recreating, repainting, whatever we're doing, we're artists, creating out of our God self. How are we artists spiritually? Well, the A, I have an acronym. A, we align with spirit first. And then we rest in the assurance that what we're creating is delightful, a yes for us, an moment. And then T, of the ART, is thankful. Be grateful each time you create something for yourself that you delight in. And what I shared in class the other night, no one has any more capability to create than anyone else. Did you hear that? Everybody creates. There's no bad, there's no good. It's creating. It's out of your spiritual self. And the more we recognize that it's from that place, the more ideas come through us that say, that feels good. That feels good. So I have some examples. Well, one I just saw here in this room. Susan is an artist. Beautiful rocks. She paints some paperweights. I have several. And every time I have a thought, it goes under one of her paperweights. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And sitting right over here, Cara. She's an artist too. She can play middle C. But then she can play more than I. I only play middle C. And you could do, what else can you do? Accords? Yeah. And then diminished and she's just, look at that. Do you have oh, that's fine. So we each have our capabilities and our joy. And you've heard her play this morning. I watch you and feel your energy when you're creating there at the keyboard, and it's just, oh my gosh. I'm glad you do that. I've tried middle C, maybe a C chord, but that's about it. And I have two other examples that for me example what's happened for me creating in my life. So last month was a birthday for me. I like them. I like every one. It was number 66. And I say that because it is, but I say that because I said to several people out loud in my circle, gosh, maybe I think I want to do the Route 66 this year, something or part of it, not the whole thing, because it would take me just like all summer probably. I don't want to do that, but I know what I want to do. About a week at some part of it, and so someone heard that, and someone gave me this illustrated Route 66 historical atlas. See? I asked for it. But not only that, each state has its own map that pulls out to show the different. What a gift! What a gift! The gift for me, it's not the gift necessarily, is that somebody heard it. That somebody heard it. It's really an honoring thing when people hear you. Remember that this morning. And there's different than listening, but they hear you, and they can do something about that, and choose to in that awe moment that they have. And not only that, but my coworker in the hair salon, her husband, backed that up. He wrote out the route of favorites of his because he's done the route on a motorcycle. So all the dives, all the diners, all the auto courts that he stayed in, I have this list from Chicago to Santa Monica. Who knew? Who knew? And so on my birthday weekend, I was treated to Sutter Creek. Thank you, James. And I had mentioned going to a restaurant, which we did. I'll do a plug here. It's called Taste. Not a great name? Taste. And right next door was a place to sleep called Rest. And the intention was to get both places side by side because that's in Plymouth, not in Sutter Creek. Well, stayed in Sutter Creek, reservations for dinner, Plymouth at Taste. So I'm getting to a really important point here. The people that referred me and took me once and shared Taste, I was so happy that we were going that I emailed her and said, we have dinner reservations this day and this time. And she said, oh, lovely. There'll be a surprise. And I go, oh, okay. Well, it's going to be a donut or a bottle of wine or something. I don't know. So we're thinking maybe we should do Uber. So we get Uber. James gets Uber. His first driving experience, his first time to do Uber. Not James, but the driver. Very nice, clean car, an RN. We said, oh, hope you're going to be available at about 9 o'clock. He says, well, I'm a nurse and I may get called in. So I went, oh, well, whatever. I really wasn't afraid or fearful. I knew we were going to get back, somehow. But, so we get in, we're early, we get seated, and we haven't quite ordered yet. Our reservation was at 7:15. James says, wouldn't it be something if your friends just showed up and we looked at the door and here they come, trotting in. A surprise. So all these things, all these pieces fell into this perfect order that, oh my gosh, it was just a great, great experience. And it's serendipity, it's all this kind of stuff. But for me, it's knowing that always, always, always we're in our right place and are cared for properly. So we finished dinner. There's no Uber. Can't make contact. There's a taxi cab in this old mining community called Pioneer. They're not answering. We're 15 miles away. So our friends, the surprise, they said, come on, we're taking you. They took us back to Sutter Creek. And they turned around and came back to rest where they were staying. And so we were cared for. We were supported by loving friends and a great community. It is such a delight to stay in the awareness of divine presence when anything like this occurs, because that's how it gets started in the first place. We have an idea, we invoke love and joy and harmony into that, and let it appear, however that is. I was concerned about the ride home, but I thought, well, there's got to be a way, and there was. There was. So, awe moments. I'll bet if I asked each one of you to come up here, and I won't, and share an awe moment, that you would have one. Each of us has something wonderful that has happened for us. Probably this morning. And yet, more today. Who knows? I suggest you invoke that into your mold of your mind and allow that to show up for you. And just get ready for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. See it. And appreciate it. So, as I near the end of this lesson, I conclude with my current statement for living fully. And it's this: life is filled with ideas of love and joy and peace, and I magnify it. Would you like to say that? Life is filled with ideas of love and joy and peace. And I magnify it. What I know about love, joy, and peace is that love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. Joy is the emotion excited by the expectancy of good. And peace is a state of non-resistance to error. So say after me, my life is filled to overflowing with expansive ideas of love, of joy, of peace. I am irresistible to the ever-expanding God life. And so it is. Namaste.